We are welcoming you for a new episode of College Review. Today we are Professor Rahul Nanwal sir, Director School of Business, Professor Anita Sengar ma'am, Cluster Head and Faculty of School of Business, and Mr. Manish Madan sir, Registrar UPS. This video is basically for the students, those who are looking for admission this year after CAT, MET, ZET examinations. Sir, first question for you. What is the curriculum and course design in UPS?
So the curriculum and course design is essentially like any other MBA program. So there are 60% core courses, the 40% is specialization. We offer a variety of specializations. So we have like a program with KPMG on strategy and consulting and business analytics. We are launching a program with Ernst & Young on strategic finance. Then we have regular specializations like marketing, finance, and so on and so forth. We are also very well known for a specialization in oil and gas. So if you want to have a career in oil and gas energy sector, then we have that. We have one on power management, aviation, logistics and supply chain. So pretty much everything. So if you're interested to do an MBA and there's a specific kind of specialization that you want to
we want to know anything about the practical learning or the case studies.
In our school, I think one of our khasiyat is that we use business cases in the classroom. We also use practical case studies in the classroom. A lot of our faculty comes from the industry. So they bring their own industry experience into the classroom. Then we have this practice of getting guest and visiting faculty into the classroom. So at any point of time, you would see the way we are teaching in our classroom is that it is very industry aligned. Aisa nahi hai ki we are teaching something and the industry wants something else. Even our curriculum gets validated by the industry. So it's very, very industry focused kind of training and learning.
How is the student experience and the engagement?
Student experience and engagement happens in two ways. So one happens inside the classroom. So the way the teachers are using case method, they engage them in various class projects, they give them live projects, they go outside and do this. So that's one. The second is what happens outside the classroom. So for example, currently the School of Business students are running the UPS merchandise store.
Yes, I have seen.
You have seen that, right? So this is the students who are actually running it and a faculty is guiding them. So like that, there are many projects which are designed which gives them first-hand experience of what it is like to do business. So we are essentially teaching them business by helping them do business.
So who is funding this type of project? Is funding by the university or the student itself?
So the initial capital is provided by the university, but the way these guys are running it, they are actually profitable. So they don't require additional capital from outside.
Do we have innovation with the technology, or do we have something like incorporated in the UPS system?
The innovation, like all of these courses, we assign the term project to the students, right? So this project the student is supposed to do throughout their semester. So that includes their exposure to the industry, like if they choose any specific industry, any specific company, they do their live projects with them. So that's the way of inculcating the innovation skill for these students.
And what about the industry collaboration, sir?
Since our inception, we came into existence in 2003. So since then, university is known for industry collaboration. We proudly say that we are an industry-led university. The courses which we are running in School of Business and other schools as well, almost 80% of our courses have an industry parent.
Okay.
Now when we say industry parent, Professor Rahul just mentioned about KPMG, which we are running two programs. EY, we are starting a program with EY.
Yes, what is this KPMG and EY programs means, sir? Can you elaborate these two programs?
KPMG is doing we were the first university in India to sign up with KPMG for our business analytics programs and strategy management. They are teaching in the classroom. Total 25% credits of the total credits are being taught by KPMG inside the classroom by the experts and consultants of KPMG. This gives them a real life kind of an experience. The actual cases, the actual projects on which KPMG is working, they are coming and sharing those with us, on which they have worked in past as well. Imagine a consultant who is working for KPMG or EY or for any other big consultancy is delivering a lecture in the classroom and teaching the students the answers which they use in their routine. Similarly for oil and gas. We have a number of collaborations for oil and gas. Each school has a very strong industry advisory board. They come and advise not only on the curriculum, but also how to prepare students for their careers. Each and every school in their advisory board also has an alumni. So imagine who was part of the university 3 years back is now part of the advisory board, because now that student is working in the industry. So when the students, alumni and industry come together, they guide us. What are the changes required in the curriculum? And we take it as a practice. Every year, we kind of go back to the drawing board, see what are we teaching in the classrooms, whether it is relevant with the industry or not. To tell us this, there is industry in the classroom already. All of that coming together helps us to prepare students who are not only job ready but future ready. That's one of the USPs.
So these type of tie-ups helps in placements also?
For sure.
Okay.
So imagine a student who has just graduated from UPES is already debuted on projects, which cuts down on the time and energy of the company to train them for their projects. So we do a lot of activities on this one major activity which we do is called LBJ, which is learning before joining. So the day you are recruited to the company and you still have your one semester with us, we along with the company start training you on the projects which you will be deputed on day one. That's down on the time and effort, as I earlier said. And it also makes our students future ready for the job.
When the student is asking for the admission, they generally see for the rankings also. So do we have some rankings, awards we have in our kitty?
Yeah. So we are like 41st in NIRF ranking, which is a recognized all across India.
It's in a management.
It is in management category. So category I'm talking about management category. So it's a to that extent it's really kind of well respected business. But what I would like to say is that the students essentially with rankings they're also looking at placement, right? Because students are not only coming because of the better rank.
100%.
They are coming because better outcome is there or not. The students look at an ROI, and a business school student definitely looks for a return on investment, and they are doing fairly well. They are on an average, a student can actually get 8 to 10 lakhs and maybe more. Average salaries, median salaries are also similar. But if you are a really good student, like you're in the 20-25% of the class, you can actually get anything between 20 lakhs to 30-35 lakhs. Like recently, one of our graduates got into Bain and Company. Now, Bain only goes to now only 20 campuses across India. And she has got into Bain. And Bain came, recruited 2 to 3 students from here. Likewise, Accenture comes. ONGC used to come to our campus. So I think our primary attraction is that we have very, very good placement. Of course, we are well ranked. We are very, very proud of that. My sense is students looking for placements more than right.
What about the placement scenario here? I'm talking about the on and average placement to the higher placement, to the domestic placement, to the international placements. What type of placement we are having here in UPS?
Before I jump on to the data, let me share what placement is. As Professor Rahul rightly mentioned that if you're doing an MBA, one of the major puller for you will be the kind of the placement data which the university or the college shares. Placement is not a rocket science. Placement is a process. You come in your first year, in the first semester, we make you aware about your domains and fundamental and basics. Second semester, we prepare you for the industry internships, which is your first face off with the industry. You get a good industry internship, you go and work in the industry, do the project. Then when you come back, most of the cases, if you're a bright student, you'll get a PPO from the same
100%.
If you don't get a PPO, you appear for the placement process, do 3 things right, which is again, understanding of your basics and fundamentals, understanding of your domain, and your soft skills. If you do these 3 things right, you will get a placement right at the start of the 3rd semester itself. And this is where LBJ comes into place. Because once you are placed, then we start training you for it. As Professor Rahul mentioned, the average and the median salary hovers between 8 to 9 lakh rupees every year. But this is for the average students.
Understand.
If you are a student who is exceptional, if you are a student who is above average, the salary would range between 12 to 15 lakh rupees. If you are an exceptional student, you can go up to 50 lakh. Recently, one of our students in one of the other schools got a salary package of 53 lakh. In School of Business, Accenture Strategies was offering 34 lakh. Salaries are no bar, opportunities are no bar. Currently, there are students in School of Business, specifically in MBA, who have got more than 3 offers in, and they still have 3 months to be graduate. Placement मुझे ऐसा लगता है is not a rocket science, as I earlier said. आप क्लास में आके पढ़ रहे हैं, क्लास के बाद जाके जो आपको क्लास में पढ़ाया गया अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ बैठ के उस पर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. You are doing those 3-4 things right. By the end of your 2nd semester, early 3rd semester, if you are a good student, you will get placed. Even average students will get placed by the end of 3rd semester.
Okay.
And almost all of them who are academically eligible will get a placement before they graduate.
So before taking admission in any of the B school, either in the UPS or any of the B school, student thinks about ROI part, as you earlier mentioned, ROI. As we see in the UPS, the fees is on the higher side as compared to the other university or the colleges. In terms of ROI, the students is getting, means this is a valid question from the student side.
No, it's a valid question, and it's students would love to kind of seek a response on this as well. As I earlier said, the average and the median for the average students is around 8 to 9. If you are above average, it is 12 to 15. If you are exceptional. So ROI, if you start calculating it, that the return of investment is in 2 years, 3 years, you may see a challenge. But see how our alumni are 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line. We talked about international places.
Yes.
Mount Meru is a regular recruiter.
Okay.
Accenture Strategies do take students for international locations. And there are a number of companies which come for international locations.
Okay. So what about the ratio for the foreign placement and the national placement and domestic placement?
Foreign placements are few.
Okay.
But these are marquee placements.
Okay.
Most of the students are initially absorbed in domestic projects.
Okay.
But if you talk about my alumni, safely I would say around 20% of our alumni are working
That's
overseas.
a good number.
Overseas.
Yeah, I have a slightly different take on the return on investment. The university is not selling mutual fund.
Okay.
we're not
Understood.
selling an FD also. There are two kinds of investment that goes into a degree. One is the fees that you pay and the money that you spend. The second is the time that you're going to put in.
Yes, 100%.
So if you are a student who is also putting the second investment, I can almost guarantee you that your ROI, the money and effort that you will put in, will be covered within 1 to 2 years. And then this will grow exponentially because every year 20-25% salary jump you might get, you might go to other places and all that. If you only see ROIs that यार I have given this fees, जैसे आपने कहा कि यार आपकी फीस ज़्यादा है, मैंने because only I have given a fee, I should get a return. Here we are not selling a mutual fund, we are not selling an FD, we are not selling a degree. Here fees is, of course, we have to pay salaries, we have to take care of infrastructure and all of that. But the real investment that a student will put in is the hard work that they will put in the classes. And that is very important for the prospective audience that is listening to us.
There will be 50 students in the class. There will be 20 of them who will be average and below average. 10 of them will be above average, and remaining 10-15 will be exceptional. All 50 will pay the same. The difference between the below average, average, above average, and exceptional is actually the second part what you mentioned.
Yes.
The kind of time and effort what the individual is putting. Teacher class में वही आएंगे. 50 के 50 बच्चों को same teacher पढ़ाएंगे.
वही पढ़ाएंगे.
क्लास के अंदर क्या आप कर रहे हैं, क्लास के बाहर क्या आप कर रहे हैं. क्लास के बाहर आप किस तरह से टाइम स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, that actually makes the impact.
One word also I have heard here, Runway incubator. Can you elaborate this?
Yeah, Runway incubator is a business
This is CEO
incubator.
for Runway incubator.
I also run the Runway incubator. So it's an incubator facility which is given to our students. That if they have a business idea or a startup idea and it gets selected, then we incubate them.
Okay.
So incubation means we give them a grant funding, a seed funding of between 1 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees to work on their idea. We provide them with mentoring opportunities, so we'll get mentors assigned to them. And then we also help them pitch their ideas and their product and the prototype to other investors to raise money. And this is provided by the university through this incubator which you mentioned, the Runway incubator. And it is open to School of Business students also.
And in fact, it is open to anyone. It's not important that you should be part of UPS only. If you have a business idea, you don't belong to UPS, you're still open. You're also welcome.
Do we have student well-being also, means mental and physical wellness center or something here?
And we do have a psychologist here for both the campuses. If students they have any personal issues or any other issue, they can always go and consult with them. And also we have course coordinators and all the faculties for they are open to listen to any of the problems the students are facing. So it's not only confined to a psychologist. All the faculties are open to listen to the issues which the students are facing. It may be personal, it may be related to the institutions as well. And in addition to that, we have several societies which we are running at School of Business, which are by and for the students only. And it is for the well-being of the students because they organize several events. They do get the funding for running those events for the prize money. Like we have Udyam, which is a student fest, which is the annual event for the School of Business. And it is, managed entirely by the student body. So that's one of the initiatives for the well-being of the students so that they remain active and they participate in the events.
Okay. I have seen one merchandising store here by the name of Runway. वो शायद जनवरी में ही open हुआ है उन्होंने.
Merchandise store is called Campus Vibe.
Campus Vibes.
Campus Vibe.
So this is one unique concept which I have seen only in this university only. But अभी वो नया है, सारा स्कोप कुछ नया है. क्या हम इसी तरह के कुछ और भी इस तरह के स्टोर खोलने जा रहे हैं कमिंग फ्यूचर में, और उसका क्या बेनिफिट हमें देखने को मिल सकता है?
UPS merchandise store जो है, वो I think one of the initiatives है in all the schools that I know of, जहाँ पे the students of School of Business are running this merchandise store for the university. और ये काफी initial stages है. इससे students learn कर रहे हैं कि business करते कैसे. जैसे कि I'll give you an example. We were doing an event and our students actually, this group goofed up with an order. And through that process of goofing up with the order, we learned so many interesting management concepts, that how communication is very important, how project management is important, these, that, everything they're learning. Now, if all goes well and this is, kind of successful merchandise store at both places, the next plan is to actually then set up a student-run cafe. Which students will own and then, again learn. Remember I said that in this school, we want to teach you business by helping you do business. And, do experiential learning. So it's like, part of that bigger vision that, when you're in a business school, why don't you do business and learn business?
So do we have some scholarship also?
A number of scholarships. I think being a private university, I don't know many universities which are kind of giving these kind of scholarships. So starting from the scholarships at the time of admission, again through CAT, ZAC, certain 12th graduation percent, and these are over the campus.
Academic basis and the competitive score basis.
Both. These scholarships are at the time of admissions, and it ranges between 10 to 30%.
Okay.
In exceptional cases, it can go beyond 30% as well. This is piece one. Piece two is that we are giving scholarships up to 100% for meritorious sportsmen. Again, it starts from 25% and ranges up to 100%. Then, if any student is coming from an economically weaker section, we are giving 100% scholarships and also free accommodation to those students. These are 50 scholarships every year. Then, once you enter the university and you become our student, again there are scholarships. So there are merit scholarships. If you are in top 2 students of your class every year, you get a scholarship. Then there are some scholarships which we wish that should not be availed because these are scholarships and financial support when you lose your earning periods. So there are scholarships for that as well. Then there are this domicile discount of 25% to vacant residents. So a number of scholarships. I mean, money won't become a barrier for an exception.
What set UPS apart from other colleges? Means why UPS?
I think couple of things. One, of course, is the overall environment of our campus. You see around, it's listed in the top 10 most beautiful campuses in India. I mean, it's a peaceful place to study. We are not just a standalone school of business. We are a complete university with 7 schools. So imagine a student of school of business into a program of MBA oil and gas. Can take a minor into oil and gas informatics from School of Computer Science, or maybe can take a minor in energy laws from School of Law. So that's one piece. Second is our industrial collaborations as well. That is, of course, our placements.
Please, sir, placement. Why UPS in terms of placement?
So UPES School of Business for me is only one reason why it is different from other schools. There's a lot of focus on student success, and there is academic rigor. Yeah, so in this school, we really focus on studies, experiential learning, and ensure that you get a better outcome. So you get placements and whatever that outcome is. Maybe you want to start a company. We are obsessive about student experience in the classroom and outside the classroom and student outcome. That makes us very different. Student success is our success.
Okay.
One point in addition to the professors is that we keep our curriculum updated. We revise our curriculum based on the inputs from the industry because ultimately our students has to go and work there. We take their feedback and revise our curriculum accordingly. So our curriculum is updated as per the current need of the industry.
Last advice to the students, those who are watching this video.
So students, one advice I'll give all of you, because that is a question we keep on getting from the students and the parents, that which is a specialization we should choose. So my advice would be that just identify your own strength, because we have got a full basket of the different domains. Just look at what is your strength and what you really want to pursue in your future. So that will help you in choosing a right specialization.
Thank you so much, Anita Sengar ma'am, Rahul Nenwal sir, Manish Madan sir. Thank you so much. If you do have any question regarding anything about this UPES or School of Business, MBA department or law department or anything else, you do have my number on the screen, 9891898289. Anytime you can call me or WhatsApp me, so that I'll give you the pass out student name and number or the current student's name and number of this university, so that you can connect directly and get to know each and everything. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.